with my bestie, Sarah. She's
Hi.
an absolute nutcase, which I have mentioned before, but she is an absolute whiz with the sewing machine. Like, seriously, let me show you. Look.
Oh, not
Look.
the one underneath, that's
Not
the trial one.
Not the one underneath. But look, this is just one example of something that, okay, let's...
Wait, take that one out of the way.
One example of something that she made recently, a witch's hat. So fabulous. Look at that. Look at the inside. But she's made, this is hers. She's made one for me as well. I'll show you that later. We're actually supposed to be wearing them, aren't we? But handbags, she is an absolute whiz at making handbags. And I have so many. Here's two. Here's two that she made just a few days ago. So I have a bit of a handbag problem. Yeah. And I bought a handbag with this material from Stradivarius, I don't know, 4 years ago, and it's a really big bag, and I never used it because it was just too big and bulky. So I asked her if she could maybe make something smaller, and this is what she's done. Isn't it fab? Just amazing. And this one was another big handbag, so I did the same. I said, can you make something for me out of it? And she made this. Look. Isn't it amazing? And I've got loads of bags, and even though I actually own a few designer handbags, the bags that I use the most are the ones she's made for me. Because they're just fab, I love them. So today we thought we would get together and be creative, and
I gave her no choice.
she didn't. And we figured, well, we didn't actually, she came up with the idea of making some more witches' hats. So we've been through all the scraps of fabric and we found something that we both like, and it's this herringbone soft fabric which looks really nice, and I think it'll make really nice witches' hats. So Sarah is doing her handiwork and I'm just watching. I'm supposed to be helping, but I think I've been more of a hindrance than a help, to be honest. But that's what we're doing today, so we'll crack on.
So always check how big your material is to what you need, so that you cut it in the right way and don't waste material. And you make sure you've got enough. Not that I forgot all of mine.
Where did you get the pattern from?
I just go online, find a nice pattern, do a trial. Yeah, that's what this is. This is my trial one with material that I had spare, a bit of felt and everything, so that I could work out whether it worked.
That's your prototype.
Prototype, that's the word I'm looking at. The prototype.
Yeah.
My prototype, yes. And with the prototype, I worked out that I really should measure better, and get started from there.
Yeah.
She does this to me all the time, leaves me doing the work. She does feed me. Oh, wait a minute. Lovely.
And she's even put, where is it? Look at this. She knows how much I love skulls. So she's put a skull on it for me. Isn't it fab? Absolutely love it.
And you can tell she's a real witch because there's cat hair all over it.
If you'll have seen my last video, cats, you'll know.
Yes.
So Sarah has been making a lot of things for probably a few years now. And I keep saying to her she really needs to start doing it, you know, professionally, because she's good enough to do it professionally. She just doesn't have the confidence in herself. But everybody who sees her work and her beautiful workmanship, they all say the same thing. She really needs to start doing it, you know, and selling her stuff because it's amazing. So I have actually managed to convince her to at least create a name for her business. So she has come up with a name.
Yes.
And a little while ago we did work on a logo. So she does have a logo. I'm not sure if that's the final
Logo, but I love it. But
yeah. So do you want to tell them what that's called? So in the future they can keep an eye out for you.
Yeah, well, what we came up with is called Ichigo threads. I have a love of Japanese.
A love?
Oh, okay, an obsession. Okay, an obsession. Yes, I love my anime and manga, but I actually like the Japanese culture. It is my dream, and I've been trying to get there for the last 10 years. Things keep on just getting in the way, but I will get there one day.
If we win the lottery,
yeah, we're going
to
Japan. But yes.
So Ichigo threads. So keep an eye out for that.
I'm probably saying it completely wrong. Anybody who's Japanese, I apologise. If I can see this. If not, I'll go somewhere and cry.
Don't cry.
No, we haven't quite got to that stage yet. My usual thing is that I like to use with dark materials because I usually stab myself, and getting blood out of white materials is absolutely terrible.
It's not good. Oh, you can see it.
You can see it. If you've got heavy material, this is a nice gauge, thick material, and you're trying to cut it out one large piece, it moves on you a lot. So I just worked out which way I want all of this. So I'm going to now cut it because it's too short one way but long enough the other way to do everything I want to do.
So this is what it looks like. So this is wrapping paper that she's used. So she printed off a pattern from the internet onto paper and then cut those pieces out, and then
this is the actual pattern. This is oversized for hemming. So you know, if you try to put that on your head, you might think, oh, it's too small. It's not. It's because we've got to do the hem.
And then this part is the pointy bit. In the middle.
The pointy bit, the cone.
The cone.
The cone. It's all about shapes. May I have the round bit?
Yeah. And she's cutting. She's cutting.
Yes. Another piece of advice: you buy a good pair of scissors, material scissors.
Yeah.
And you use them for nothing else. These do not cut paper. They do not cut cardboard. They do not cut plastic. They only cut material. Measure twice, cut once. Or in my case, measure twice, get it wrong. As I can't really see what I'm drawing onto it, I'm just going to leave them on there and cut them with the pattern on there, just like you do with making dresses. Not that I've ever made a dress.
Ta-da!
Right.
Look at that.
Yes, they're all floppy. You notice they're floppy. We're going to put some interfacing on this so that they become more rigid. I have the interfacing that I have, and that's all I'm saying about it. You can get different densities of, what densities? I'm not sure.
Thickness? No, probably is density.
It is density. You can get light, medium, or heavy, so that if you get the heavy, they literally will be rigid. They won't move very much. I unfortunately could only get the light, so we're going to work with that.
That's all right, because I think if it's a little bit, I mean, is this light or is this thicker one?
Oh, the thing is that also this fabric is a heavy duty,
So that's more, okay.
more
But
stable fabric.
Even if it was a bit more fluffy, I think it would probably be quite a cute witch's hat.
Yes. And of course you can adjust this. You don't have to have a brim that wide. You can make the brim smaller. You can make a mini hat if you want, like, what do you call it? Fascinator.
Fascinator, we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
So if you run out of fabric but you still want a witch's hat for Halloween or something, make a little one and put it on like a headband or something.
Yeah, you can do that. And that would be really good for handcrafting and really easy if you've got felt, hot glue and stuff. You can do that as well. Yeah. There'll be lots of people on YouTube land doing that. Now you're going to be turning this inside out, hence why it's right sides together. And to do that and not have it totally pucker, you have to cut little slits all the way around. And it will fold in on itself, lovely. This is where you really wish you could fast forward stuff. If you've got stiffer interfacing, this will come out better. I haven't. I'm going with the what I've got, so I'm using it. And if you're wondering why there's two different ones, I didn't buy enough.
So does it matter how you cut them? Because some, I noticed, they're on the angle. Does it need to be on the angle? No. Just as long as there's a cut, it doesn't matter.
No, what they need to do is when this gets folded inside, they need to be able to move, and they'll fold over. They'll move.
Yeah.
It's because if you leave them and you try and do it, it won't lay flat. It just won't.
Very nice scissors.
Very nice scissors. I love my scissors. So you're going to turn these inside out. They look like a tyre for a minute. Inside out, right sides out, sorry. There we go. You can fiddle with that and make it look nice.
Okay. Do you like the fact that this was meant to be a sewing video for my channel?
I said, let's make you famous. We can do it together. You can sew alongside me. Can you see a machine? Is she in front of the machine?
My machine is nowhere near as good as this one. Mine's ancient.
Oh, so
My sewing machine, Michael bought for me probably when we've been together maybe 3 years. And we've been together since 1991. That's how old my machine. And it was second hand, so it already belonged to somebody who'd had it for probably quite a few years before that. So it's a Singer though, so it's the same brand, so it is very good.
No, all our machines in my household, my mum, many years ago was a tailoress, so that's where I learnt some of my stuff. But I'm not trained. I'm just.
Brilliant. She's brilliant.
We have on here, because this is a herringbone pattern, and I have got lines to follow, so I'm going to choose some lines and just quilt it. It will give it a bit more rigidity as well. I just have to choose which ones I want to do. That one, the upsy this. Now you can do this in coloured cottons. I'm not sure if you can see that, but I have lots of coloured cottons. If you so choose to do that. We're doing this in black.
Yeah.
We're keeping with the theme.
Yeah.
Also, if you do keep with a cotton that matches your material, the good thing is if you muck up your sewing, no one's going to see it.
I guess from now on, I will always be using the same colour cotton as the material.
Yeah. I'd love to be one of these people and say, oh yes, I use coloured cottons and I have beautiful stitching.
So you're doing the length, the sewing, the stitching lengthways.
Yeah.
So will you be then going across?
You can do, but as it won't really show on here, and this is just to make sure that the
the interface
stays put.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, if we were doing a traditional quilting, you see, this, you can see that. You can't see it there. It's almost invisible. This is just helping out with the interfacing staying put.
Yeah.
I love the stitching speed of this machine. Believe me, if this didn't have lines on it, these wouldn't be straight. Can't see anything that side, but you can see it that side.
Hold it up to the phone. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Very straight.
Okie dokie. Right.
We still don't need this.
No, that will go in. If I do that now, if you take the one off that you've got already and have a look inside, you see the seam is going inward. If I do it the other way around, you will see the seam protruding.
See the seam. Okay, yeah.
Protruding.
Yeah.
So you can put it in by hand, or you can sew it. And I used a bit of black binding just to tidy it all up and make it nicer to put on your head, of course. This is a very useful tool. Sorry, you have to do that, don't you?
Yeah, so
This
focuses.
Yeah, so it grips in. I don't know if it had time to focus. I'm not a YouTuber. Well, I suppose I am now.
You are now. So what is that tool? Because it obviously has a multitude of... I mean, it reminds me of Basic Instinct.
Yeah, I mean, it does look like... it's a pick. It could be called a bradawl if you're trying to get a hole into a piece of wood, if you're doing woodwork. Basically, it's a piece of thing with a point at the end. This allows you to hold something and not get your fingers in the way.
Yeah, it's actually... But is it meant for sewing?
Yeah, you can.
Okay,
you
yeah.
get the in all sorts. I don't know its official name. I just know it works, and you have to get used to using it as well, because sometimes it can feel a bit alien, but it's a lot easier to do stuff with it.
Yeah, it's a really good idea.
There we go. Right. Not perfect, but okay. Now.
But you're not going to see it, are you? So it doesn't need to be perfect.
No. When you get to the point of the hat, I'm not sure where it is, you can see the point of the hat here, you need to come in and just cut the seam off, because if not, it will not turn out in a nice, crisp little pointy. It'll be a horrible little pointy. She did tell you I was mad, didn't she? Oh yeah, that's good. And you just pop that out. Another good thing with this is that of course you can gently use it to pull something out, so you get a nice sharp point at the end. So if anybody is a sewer and they do collars and stuff, you'll know what I mean by that. You see, therefore we have a pointy hat.
That's cool. I love that in the fabric. I think it's really cool.
And as it goes round, it changes direction. So yeah,
It's
thumbs
nice.
up.
I like that.
That's one
That's
pointy.
one.
One pointy done. Shall I do one hat?
Okay. Yeah.
And then we can do the other one, because I might need a break.
Yes.
And that break might involve
Beer.
beer.
See, I knew she was going to say beer before it came out of her mouth.
I'm not saying anything. Wait a minute, that's still...
Well, it is very nearly beer o'clock.
Oh,
Somewhere in the world.
favourite person.
So you're sewing around those edges?
Yeah, you've turned it inside out. You've now got the hem. It lies flat because we did those little cuts, as flat as it can at the moment. You make sure they're out as much as you can. And now we're going to go round and we're going to sew them, so round the hat again to keep it flat. Yes.
Yep, makes sense.
And this doesn't have to be quick, it just has to be neat-ish.
That gives it a really nice finish.
It
doesn't
does,
Yeah.
it does, it gives it a very nice finish. Okay. A little wobbly, but still okay. As I said.
Don't worry.
In my house we have nice tiled floors, and so as you can tell, when I'm doing my sewing, I just it goes on the floor and then I hoover everything up later, because this is me we're talking about and it's gonna get Okay, so we've got that. Now, as you can see, these are still, oh wait a minute, you can't see, but I can. These are still apart. You can get some, pass me that white roll. White roll, yeah. This is hem, sew on hem. Sew on hem, I mean iron on hemming tape. Now, it's a bit fiddly, but you can lie this all in the hat and then you iron it again and it sticks together. Which I was going to do, but as I'm having a little bit of trouble, I am actually just going to do concentric circles and just sort of like quilt this hat. If it doesn't look nice, I'll do the next one different and that will be my hat. And it will hopefully cause it to be a bit more rigid. Or just as flop as it was, but whatever. I'm happy, it's happy. And just follow the...
So you're gonna
keep going round in circle. Yeah. This is not necessary. If you want to do the interlining, you can get interface that is double-sided. So you put this together, put the interface in, and then you'd be off. This is just, I'm going with what I've got. It'll look good or it won't.
So, but for now, it's time for a beer.
Okay.
Cheers.
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 Cheers. Oh, that's nice.
No, it's nice.
This is how we put how I put the lining in. Whilst this one is inside out, we sew to the top the point of the lining. That goes like that. Also, I think fancy the thread. Come on. Then you turn this right sides out. As you do it, pulls the lining up, secures it at the top. And then you can carefully, depending on your material of course, pull point out of the hat or whatever you're making. Just to others. And there, your lining is in. And when you stand it up, it stays up there because it's attached at the top.
Cool.
That's just the way I do it. There may be better ways. There probably is better ways. But that is the way I'm doing it. Now the tricky bit is to pin this together. And then sew round the hat. Of course now it won't sit still for me.
But you've put the seam. No, what's the word? What would you call that?
Yeah, the seam.
The seam.
And I've split
out
it
like
apart.
that. Yeah.
So that it's less bulk when you are about to sew, because not everybody has a heavy duty sewing machine. Now, you've got it pinned, you've got both of them here, all down to that stage. Now you can just choose which side you're up and you're down, put these together and start sewing. Piece of advice, do very near the edge a stitch all the way around so the lining is already joined to the top of the hat, because when you're trying to pair up the two together, the last thing is you're trying to do is fiddle with 3 pieces of material. If you join them together, you're only dealing with 2 pieces of material, and hopefully it'll go smoother. Large dose of the hope. So this is just near the edge. And if you're moving something around like I am, always remember to put the needle down. It holds the material in place so it doesn't shift on you. And try not to run over your needles. I've also got a little magnetic thing here. This is actually to go on my machine for it as a spacer, but I use it to hold the needles because it then stops them falling all over the floor. I have animals too, but it's usually because I'm a doofus and I'll put my foot on it. There we go. Like back tack. And you take that out. 1. Oh. They're officially joined together.
Yeah. Cool. So now's the tricky bit.
Yeah, you now have to sort of like pair the 2 up. So decide, some people may have a different bottom to top or whatever you're doing. Decide which is top, which is bottom, and join them together. This is where your crocodile clips can come in handy. I don't know, crocodile clips, whatever you want to call them. Things to hold it together whilst you're going round. Now, remember you're dealing with a curve, so it might not go exactly how you want first time around. Just ease it round so that it all fits on. It's gonna look ribbly. It's not gonna sit smoothly. But you're just trying to make sure that it's all reasonably on together. Like that. There's over there. Just make sure you've caught everything. Yeah. And in some ways this hat being quite floppy is advantageous. It's going to make it easier to handle. If this was very stiff, you'd be fighting with it. But it depends on what you want as an end result. Okay. Okay, that's down. Need to gently feed this through. There we go. Okay. First look at it. Oh, I caught it a little there, but that's fine. It's at the back. And that is starting to look like.
Looks really cool, actually.
Which is hat.
Yeah.
Now, if you turn it inside out, of course you can see all of this. You can just flip that up like that, and you sew round and it holds it up, but you'll always see it. Or you can remember where you put it. Put some binding on it and make it look.
Is that what's on this one?
Yeah, that's what's on that one.
That's just...
You basically,
right in front of you just to show them what you've done on the other one.
a bit more difficult on that one because it's black on very dark colours. You have the binding, you pin it down, you do that, then you fold it under, and it makes a much nicer finish.
And it's again more tricky.
If you don't want to do that, you can just leave it like that. It depends what you're doing. So.
Reminds me of the sorting hat, because I think the sorting hat was a bit floppy, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean, yes. I mean, stiff hats
that is brilliant.
is for felters.
That's so cool.
So to just, if you want to just leave that plain, if you're not bothered by that, you can just turn it inside out, right sides out. You can feel that this is turned back, and then you just go very much around the hem and it will hold it all up. It's up to you how you want to do it.
How do you feel it? Oh, because it's going that way. Yeah. Okay.
It's going that way. So
Yeah.
this is flat like this.
Yeah.
Sorry. This is completely flat, and the other piece of material is bent on top like that.
Yeah.
So that when you take this up, it will join on the top. But you just have to make sure it is doing what you think it's doing. And then you carefully. Now there is going to be a thick bit here where you've got all the seams joining together. If you've got a standard machine, just go slowly. And if the machine doesn't want to do it, don't.
Do it by hand afterwards?
Yeah, you can. It just depends. I mean, mine should just go over this. You can hear the change in the sound because that's going through something thicker. If this was my little one, I might just have to miss that bit. And my old one, like Susie's, is a singer, was bought 20 odd years ago, mine was, so. In general, that's all tucked up so that it stays up neatly. So you just put your hat on, and there you go. And there you go. Like I said, you might want to put wire in the edges.
Yeah, but it's kind of cool the way that it flops when it wants to. Yeah.
If you don't want it this floppy, then your interfacing needs to be more dense. A thicker interfacing that's more rigid. Sorry, not dense, that's more rigid. But,
that's cool. So we're done.
Yeah.
Or should I say, so she's done.
This was supposed to be a joint thing. I said to her, we can have both the sewing machines out. No, that didn't happen.
My sewing machine didn't leave my cupboard.
No.
Instead, I took this as a spectator event. I just get so nervous about making things because I just think I'm gonna mess up.
It doesn't matter if you mess up, it's always a learning curve.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, you mess something up and you think, well, I won't do it that way again.
Yeah.
Or you go, like I said, keeping the needle in the fabric if you're moving it about. You learn with experience.
Yeah.
And if you don't do it, you don't know.
Never get experience.
No.
Yeah. But I think she did a fabulous job. I think they look great. They are floppy. But actually, that looks cool the way you've got that there.
Oh, it's,
It looks very stylish.
oh yeah. I'm the least stylish one between us. She's the stylish one.
So anyway, we've got our witches' hats. Well, now we've got 2 witches' hats.
Each. Two witches' hats each.
So we can use them over the next month or so.
Yes.
Up until Halloween. Mind you, we'll just keep using it. It doesn't have to be for Halloween.
Oh
does
God,
it?
no.
We'll be using them throughout the whole year.
Actually, I'm thinking these are quite good for. Like I said, I made a joke. I said we should go gardening. Keeps the sun off you and stuff. Scares the neighbours as well.
Yeah, why not? Just use them whenever you need a hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. So that was Sewing with Sarah. I hope you've enjoyed it anyway. I'm trying not to keep it too long, but we will do this again, and next time I will join in sewing, honestly. I will. And hopefully soon we'll be in the new house where I'll actually have a lot more space in order to sew. But that's just an excuse.
She's been using that excuse for the last year and a half, I think. Yeah, she's been using that excuse.
But once we're in, I can't, can I? I won't have any excuses.
You'll have zero excuses on that one. Yeah.
So I hope you've enjoyed it. Please give the video a like if you have. Subscribe to the channel.
Yes.
And I will see you in the next one.
Bye. They're both as mad as
Hatters?
hatters. Yeah.
Hatters!
Both mad as hatters.
See what you did there?
Yes. Oh, that's adorable. Yes, you are.
Hello.
Adorable.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Gorgeous.
You are.
Oh, yes, princess.
Oh yes, definitely a princess.
Oh, yeah.
She didn't seem to mind the hats. Shannon didn't like it.
Yeah, it's when I go home, if I go in home with my dogs, and it's around the time I'd normally come home from work, and I'm not dressed how Poppy's expecting me to be dressed in my usual work gear, she'll bark at me until she realises it's me, even though it's my car. She's like, no, you don't look like you should do. Oh, she's gorgeous.
She is adorable.
Oh.
She loves her cuddles.